Today's tutorial video for lesson 2.1 sports acronym will be showing you how to modify or format or change, however you'd like to say it, format a document, specifically the text in a document. So we're going to create a list of the most popular sports acronyms and their meanings. And then we're going to make editing changes, formatting changes to that list. Okay. So before we get started, if you could please set up your desktop the way that you see mine here. So on one screen, I have this tutorial video, and on the other, I have my Google Drive open. You will have to be out of full screen, so please make sure that you are out of full screen before you split into two. So if you go ahead and pause the tutorial and set up your desktop the way that you see mine here, we'll go ahead and get started. So in your 2023 Intro to Computers folder, we're going to go ahead and open that up. And we're going to open up our My Docs folder. Okay. You can see that I've already started this assignment with lesson 2.1, sports acronyms. That's what the assignment tells me I'm going to be naming this assignment. So when I open it up here, you can see I've already started my list. I don't want you to start yet because I have a couple of things to say before you do start typing your list. So we have up at the top here, lesson 2.1 or L2.1, sports acronyms. You can see that it's in my My Docs folder. Now the list that we're going to be copying is the list that you see here. Okay, that list, it tells us at the top that we need to skip a line between each list item. So we're going to hit return or enter 2 times to do that. So I'm on the bottom here where it says United States Tennis Association. If I go to the end of the line, I'm going to hit the return button 2 times. And then I'm going to type WNBA in all capital letters. And I'm going to type what that means. Women's National Basketball Association. I'm going to hit return 2 times and type the last one, WWF, World Wrestling Federation. So what I'd like you to do before we do anything else is go ahead and pause this tutorial and copy the list that you see on the assignment page. When you come back, we'll make the editing changes. Okay, so you should have your list of sports acronyms. You should have skipped 2 lines, so hit return 2 times before you typed each acronym. So now what we're going to do is we're going to make some editing changes. We're going to focus mostly on what's at the top here in our toolbar. Okay. I'm going to be telling you some ways to use shortcuts to do some of these editing changes or formatting changes, but some of them you can only find from our toolbar here up at the top. If you don't see everything that we need to use today, that's what this 3 dots are for. That's our More button. So if I click on the More button, the rest of the menu will show up for me. Okay, so the rest of the menu is going to show up when I click on the 3 dots, which is called a vertical ellipses. So when I click on the vertical ellipses, the rest of the menu will show up. If I hover over each of these icons, it also tells me what that icon does. So for example, if I were to click this icon here, it would give me colors for highlighting. So don't do this, but I just want to show you. If I were to highlight sports acronyms, so click and drag my mouse and then go to highlight color, and I clicked on the light orange, it would highlight it light orange. Okay, I don't want that, so I'm going to hit the undo button. Okay, there are a couple of different ways that you can highlight text. You can click and drag your mouse. You can double click to highlight just a certain word, or you can triple click your mouse very quickly 3 times to highlight the whole line. So either twice for one word or 3 times for the whole line. Okay. So let's see what we're going to be doing to edit. So all of our editing or formatting that we're going to be doing is listed underneath the text to copy. So we can see if I start at number 1, we're going to change the font size of the title to size 18. So I'm going to click and drag my mouse over sports acronyms, and I'm going to change the font size, which if you can see, when I hover over, that's where my font size is. So I'm going to change that to 18. Please do the same. Okay, now it says I'm going to change the font of AFC to Times New Roman. So right now the font is Arial. If I hover over the word Arial, it tells me what the font is. So I want to change this. I'm going to click 3 times, and I'm going to change this to Times New Roman. Okay. Now, if you don't have Times New Roman on your list, one thing that you can do is go to More Fonts, and you can type in, and for whatever reason, it doesn't show up. So Times is basically the same. So if you have Times, you can use that as well. Okay. I'm going to switch it back to Times New Roman. Okay, so now it's telling me that I need to use the undo button. So I'm going to undo. And then it tells me I need to do the redo button. So I'm going to redo. Okay. If you hover over, some of these will give you the command option. So if I were to do Command Z, it would undo what I just did. If I were to do Command Y, it would redo what I just did. Okay. Same for like the bold and the italic and the underline. Command or CMD, Command B will make something bold, Command I will make it italic, and Command U will make it underlined. Not everything has a command option. Like for example, text color doesn't have a command option. So I just have to click that button to change the text color of my font. Okay. So I'm going to do one more with you, and then I'm going to have you do the rest. So number 4, we already did that. So I'm going to go to number 5, change the font size to 18. So for ESPN, I'm going to change the font size to 18. And then number 6, it says change the font color of Olympic Committee to blue. So I'm going to highlight and find font color or text color. And I'm just going to change that to a blue. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and pause the tutorial and finish the rest of this list on my own. I would like you to pause the tutorial and finish the rest of this list on your own as well. And then we'll come back together when you press play, and I'll show you about submitting. All right, so you should be done with your list, typing and changing the format of the text on your list. If you would like to pause this tutorial again and check your work against my work on the right-hand side here, that would probably be a good idea. If there's anything that you're missing, it will get returned to you to be fixed before you can move on. Once you are ready, we're going to download our document as a PDF. So I'm going to go to File, Download, PDF. And when I move this window, you can see that it's here on my desktop. If it's not on your desktop, then you need to change where your downloads are going. If you don't know how to do that, raise your hand and I will help you. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to click and drag my PDF to my little rocket ship. And once that's done, I'm going to submit. Now, I believe we created a Google folder. So I'm going to go ahead and open that Google folder. I'm going to put this in there so that I have it as a just in case. And then I'm going to click and drag. So I have this in my Google folder in my 2023 files. And then I'm going to click and drag from my desktop to my trash can. And then I'm going to right click and empty my trash. So please make sure that you have nothing left on your desktop. Anything that you've got on your desktop needs to be put into the trash, and your trash can needs to be emptied. So before you move on to a coding assignment or maybe another assignment that you have to work on, please make sure that your desktop is clear and your trash is empty.